Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Shanae, and today I'm going to share with you my go-to red velvet cupcakes. Last week I shared with you my foolproof cream cheese frosting, and this cupcake pairs perfectly with that frosting. And red velvet cupcakes are not just chocolate cupcakes tinted red. It's more than that. When it's done right, red velvet cupcakes have buttery, soft crumbs and perfect balance of a little bit chocolate, a little bit vanilla, and a little bit tang from buttermilk. So it's really easy to make this recipe. You don't even need a mixer and just a few ingredients. So for this recipe, you will need flour, sugar, cocoa powder, egg, buttermilk, vegetable oil, baking soda, a little bit salt, red food coloring. You can use liquid or gel, and vanilla extract and vinegar. First, we'll whisk together the dry ingredients. Flour, we'll add sugar, a little bit salt, and cocoa powder, and whisk it together until well combined. Now we're going to combine the wet ingredients in a larger bowl. So I'm gonna crack one egg, buttermilk. I highly recommend using a buttermilk from the store. You can use substitute buttermilk, like adding acid in milk and let it sit for 5 minutes and stir it, and that way you will get thicker milk. Or you can use sour cream with a little bit milk to make your homemade buttermilk. I've done it before, but I always prefer with a real buttermilk because I think the real buttermilk has a little more tang to it and you can taste it in your cupcakes. But in a pinch, you can use those substitutes. You can get the details in my blog post for the recipe. And now I'm going to add the food coloring. You will need about 1 tablespoon of liquid food coloring if you would like to get the bright red color, or 1 teaspoon of gel food coloring. I'm using liquid here, and then we'll add vegetable oil. Use the same whisk and whisk it until it's nice and smooth. Now I'm actually going to sift the dry ingredients because my cocoa powder is kind of lumpy and I don't want lumps of dry ingredients in my cupcake. So I'm going to sift it. It's worth the extra step. Most of the time I usually don't have to sift it because my cocoa powder is usually not in clumps, but this time I have to do it. See how much crumbs it was? Just break it apart. And then we'll just mix the batter just until the dry ingredients is fully incorporated. At this point, you can switch to a spatula. This is my favorite spatula. And I'm going to add vanilla extract, about a teaspoon. I usually don't measure, because nothing bad is going to happen if you had a little bit too much. But now the key moment here is we're going to add a little bit acid into the baking soda, and once it's bubbling, we'll add into the batter and mix it together. You can use any kind of acid. Typically I use distilled white vinegar, but I'm out and I'm using apple cider vinegar. Works just the same. See how it bubbles? This is going to add really nice lift to our cupcakes. Makes the cupcakes really nice and fluffy and velvety smooth. Okay, and then mix the batter until it's nice and smooth. Not too much. We don't want to over mix the batter. If you over mix the batter, it will get tough and dense. This is good. No lumps. Now using my handy cookie scoop, I am using large size, and I'll scoop 1 scoop of batter into each cup lined with cupcake liners. So I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees and I'm going to bake them for about 18 to 20 minutes and I'll show you when it comes out. My cupcakes are baked and completely cooled. To check for doneness, insert a toothpick in the center of the cupcakes, and if it comes out clean, that means it's done. And cool it completely before frosting. And I have my cream cheese frosting here, and I'm going to frost the cupcakes now. You can frost the cupcakes two different ways. You can pipe a rosette on top like this, or you can pipe a cone, like an ice cream cone, on top just to have a more frosting. Let's go ahead and try this one. Looks so good. So perfect. Soft and buttery, and the cream cheese frosting, it's just so good. Look at the inside, so fluffy and tall. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you will give this recipe a try. And if you do try it, please make sure to share a photo on Instagram, tag me at Shaneshka. And also, if you leave a review on my website, I really, really appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.